Hey folks, good morning and welcome to this episode of MC Commute. Today we're going to be riding Honda's 2025 Rebel 1100T. This is a bagger style parallel twin power cruiser motorcycle from American Honda. Let's go for a ride. All right folks, there it is, Honda's 2025 Rebel 1100T. This is a bagger style variation of Honda's parallel twin powered Rebel 1100. This particular model is equipped with a 6-speed manual transmission, which reduces the curb weight of this motorcycle down to 520 pounds. So a little bit lighter, but we have to do shifting the manual old-fashioned way. All right folks, let's giddy up on this thing and talk about what it's like to ride. Now for 2025, American Honda's done some nice updates to this bike. Number one, we have this beautiful color TFT display. This is the same type of display Honda uses on a variety of its other 2025 street bike models. It also has a new Road Sync iOS and Android application that you can use to pair with your smartphone and control things and get turn-by-turn navigation right on the screen. How cool is that? Honda also did some nice modifications in the ergonomics department. The foot pegs are a little bit more far forward. The handlebars a little bit more swept back, and the seat is a little thicker, which we can definitely feel. Speaking of ergonomics, this motorcycle employs mid controls. So where the old Rebels had its foot controls a little bit more rear set, they were still mid controls. This Rebel 1100T is full mid control setup. So not a traditional street bike with the rear controls and not the traditional cruiser controls of Ford, mid controls. It's a nice compromise between sport and comfort, and it works really well. The seat's nice and cozy. I really like the thicker seat cushion that Honda fitted on this bike. The 2024 Rebel 1100T didn't have the most comfortable seat, so immediately this seat is more comfortable. It's a fairly short seat, front to back and side to side, so if you're a person with a big rear end, you might find that the seating size might be a little limited, but if you're an average human, you're going to fit on this motorcycle really nice. I wouldn't say this seat's designed for long distance touring rides, even though this is a T designation bike, hence touring with its hard case luggage. I still wouldn't say this is necessarily a touring bike. It's more of an urban all-rounder, but the seat is definitely more comfortable than before. We like it. This handlebar is really nice. It's not too far forward, it's not too far back, it's not too tall, not too low. We got a real nice pleasing bend with your fists in the air in a very commanding position, which we like. Little fly windscreen here, not the biggest, but it really adds to the aesthetics of this motorcycle, and that's what's really awesome about this Rebel 1100T. Now this bike's powered by a 1083cc parallel twin engine, water-cooled unicam cylinder head with an 8-valve cylinder head, one intake camshaft and one exhaust. Now this engine is good for 81 horsepower and upwards of 60 pound-feet of torque from the business end of that 16-inch rear wheel up front. We roll on an 18-inch front cast aluminum wheel. Now this engine is really awesome. It's got a ton of torque. Honda really made a step forward when they added displacement to this engine. It used to be 1,000, now it's 1,100. And this engine has a lot of get up and go. It also has a really pleasing character. Engine has a nice tone too. Obviously Honda street bikes are always a little bit muted in their character, but you can feel that offset engine firing order inside the engine. It's got a nice guttural feel, real torquey, real playful and fun to ride. I really like the character of this engine. This particular model is fitted with Honda's 6-speed manual transmission. So we have a 6-speed manual transmission versus the dual clutch transmission, which is a popular option on this product. So we're going to make the shifts the old-fashioned way with this cable actuated clutch and this gear shift lever on the left-hand side of the bike. The lever has a little bit of pull to it. Usually on these Honda street bikes, at least a couple years ago, they were making the clutch actuation rather wimpy. Well, they've expanded that. It now has nice tension, makes it feel like a real quality motorcycle. Yet the engagement point is really easy to find. I would say if you're someone who's new to riding, you're going to be able to get a good feel for this motorcycle and feel the clutch engagement. It's real nice. We have this barrel style adjustment lever to adjust the tension as well. So nice clutch engagement. It meshes between each of the 6 gears really nicely. We don't have an electronic quick shifter, which is kind of a bummer. I love electronic quick shifters up and down. So it'd be nice if Honda fitted the one on this bike, but considering that it's a more entry level, at least entry level in the V-twin community cruiser, we can forgive American Honda for not fitting that as a standard feature. Gosh, I love this engine. It's got so much torque. Really playful parallel twin, and of course a parallel twin engine makes for really narrow and compact packaging from side to side. So engineers have a lot of freedom in chassis development because they can put that engine where they need to put it versus a V-twin, which takes up more room, especially from front to back. Now this 1083cc parallel twin engine drinks from a 3.8 gallon fuel tank. We recorded right around 39 miles per gallon on this bike, so decent fuel mileage for an 1100cc engine. I wouldn't say it's the best fuel mileage, but it's also not the worst. 39 mpg is pretty respectable for this engine capacity. This bike also has 5.5 inches of suspension travel and a pair of Showa shocks, direct mount shocks that mount between the frame and the fender with 3.5 inches of suspension travel. Of course, we have spring preload adjustment front and back, so we can set up the height of the motorcycle the way we like it, but there is no damping adjustment, but that's not a big deal on a motorcycle like this. Now, one thing that's really cool about this Rebel 1100 is just the ride quality. This thing rides really well over bumps. Now, it's not going to be as comfortable to ride over bumps as a typical Honda street bike. It's still a cruiser, and you don't have a linkage for the rear suspension, and the suspension travel is also limited, a little bit limited, so you're not going to have the same type of comfort you'd have on, let's say, a Honda NX500. But still, for a cruiser, for an entry-level cruiser, this thing has really good suspension compliance and comfort over bumps. It also has good ground clearance for a cruiser. American and metric V-twin bikes are a little bit more limited on the ground clearance, and for sure we can get the foot pegs to touch if we really try, but in general this bike has pretty decent ground clearance. There is some inherent engine vibration, but it's very muted and it's very well calculated. The amount of engine vibration present makes it feel like you're riding a V-twin engine without it being overkill. There's not too much buzz. As you can see, the rear view mirrors still offer a nice clear view of what's going on behind you. And in general, this engine, this powertrain feels very well calculated. If you're someone who's looking for crazy vibration or crazy noise, this powertrain might not be for you. But if you're looking for a smooth, fun, and V-twin-esque riding experience, this 1083cc parallel twin from American Honda certainly delivers. Now this motorcycle is loaded with a lot of modern bells and whistles. We have traction control, we have fixed always-on ABS, so you can use the hydraulic disc brakes aggressively and you have no worry of wheel lockup. That's a really nice feature. We also have adjustable combined engine power and throttle maps, which you can all switch from this motorcycle. Another nice feature added to this bike is this multi-function button. It's also backlit for all of you riders who ride after dark like us. This multi-function button is a little on the teensy-weensy side. We wish it was bigger. The tactile feels also not the best. While we like this 5-inch color TFT display, the user interface of the display is also lackluster. American Honda always lacks or falls short in the user interface department, especially compared to the other motorcycle manufacturers. Come on, Honda, let's up the ante in the user interface department. We've been talking about it for years now. Let's get this button a little bigger too. So much better than the previous model, but still Honda's got some ways to go. But we do appreciate that they finally developed the Road Sync app, iOS and Android powered, so you can pair your Bluetooth enabled smartphone to the vehicle and get turn-by-turn directions and other stuff like that. This bike's also equipped with electronic cruise control. Yes, I love cruise control. I love the way this bike handles. For a 520-pound motorcycle, 520 pounds is certainly no featherweight, but this motorcycle definitely feels way lighter in motion. I know we say that all the time. The seat height also plays into that. The seat height's very, very low on this motorcycle. We stand 6 foot tall, 190 pounds. And this motorcycle is very easy to straddle both the legs against the pavement like we were there. If you're a new rider, I think you're going to like this motorcycle, and it's going to be nice too because you're not going to outgrow it as fast as you would a Rebel 300 or 500. All right, folks, we are now on the highway. Let's pass this person before we get balked up behind them. All right, we passed them. Yes. Let's put cruise control on. Back. Cruise control is on at 62 miles per hour. A little bit of wind buffeting. Of course, this front fairing does an okay job of blocking the wind, but still a lot of wind in our face just because this fly screen's so small, but I wouldn't say it's terrible. Of course, these urban style cruiser motorcycles, they're all about style, and that's what I really like about this motorcycle, is how good it looks. I love that there's not a lot of branding on this bike. There's not any Honda logos. If this was an American V-twin, we'd see logos everywhere that make the vehicle look very gaudy. There's no logos on this bike. I'm hard pressed to know that it's even not an American V-twin motorcycle. That's how good this bike looks. It has a really nice silhouette. The proportions are right. And I just love how it's brand agnostic with minimal branding. A very good looking motorcycle, no doubt. It's also nice that this vehicle comes with all LED lighting. So we have a nice bright LED head beam for night riding. Of course, we tested this vehicle at night, and the head beam's very nice, and the turn signals work really well too, nice and bright. We also have an LED tail light. Now, the twin hydraulic disc brakes on this motorcycle, they work very well, very capable of shedding the 520 pounds curb weight on this bike. Feel is also pleasing. These brakes don't feel wooden. They have a nice pleasing response, yet they're not too aggressive. Of course, we only have a single front disc brake setup, so if there was maybe one critique, is that the front brake isn't the most powerful, but for this bike it's fine. More than anything, I wish there was a double front disc brake on this vehicle just for aesthetics. I love the aesthetics of motorcycles with dual front disc brakes. Top gear, 6th gear, this bike's pulling 45 miles per hour at just over 2,500 RPM, just under, I'm sorry. And this is really the sweet spot of the motor. If you get a little bit under 2,000 RPMs, it gets a little herky-jerky at these running speeds, which we'll see here in a minute. A little herky-jerky, but you get above 2,000 and it runs nice, clean, very smooth, doesn't chug at all. Alright folks, we talked about the styling, we talked about the ergonomics, we talked about the power and the chassis. It's for $10,800, this 2025 manual transmission equipped Rebel 1100T. This is a great bike. Not only does it look cool, looks like an authentic American V-twin bike, it's got great power, fuel economy's pretty decent at 39 miles per gallon. Yeah, the fuel capacity is a little limited at 3.8 gallons, but the fuel tank looks sick, and that's all that really matters. That's not all that matters, but that's a factor that matters a lot to all of us American and metric V-twin and parallel twin cruiser riders. Still, we like that Honda fits this motorcycle with modern electronics, like the adjustable combined engine power and throttle maps and traction control. That's really awesome. We also like the handling on this motorcycle. 520 pound bikes shouldn't handle this well, but they do. And the cornering clearance on this bike is very nice. And it also rides over bumps and delivers a real quality ride. If I was in the market for a brand new American or metric V-twin or parallel twin cruiser motorcycle for urban riding, I would absolutely consider this Rebel 1100T. I really like this T variation because it has the lockable hard case storage containers, which you can use to store some of your gear. They're not quite big enough. I mean, you can certainly do an overnight trip, but a cross-country tour, I don't know if they have that much cargo capacity, nor is the seat that comfortable for that type of riding. But for overnight trips, for urban rides, this Rebel 1100T is absolutely functional, and it's really nice. Entry-level priced, but not entry-level in features, cruiser from American Honda. Well, everyone, that wraps up our MC Commute review on Honda's 2025 Rebel 1100T. $10,800 for this bike manufactured in Japan with a 1-year warranty. As always, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Sound off in the comments section. What do you think of this bike? And we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for riding with us.